Hello everyone, welcome to Sam Science View channel. In today's video, we are going to listen to a science fact. How does the urinary system work and some urine facts. Before getting into the video, please watch this entire video, and if you have any science related queries, you can comment about it and get it rectified. Now let's get into the video. The urinary system's function is to filter blood and create urine as a waste byproduct. The organs of the urinary system include the kidneys, renal pelvis, ureters, bladder, and urethra. The body takes nutrients from food and converts them to energy. After the body has taken the food components that it needs, waste products are left behind in bowel and in the blood. The kidney and urinary systems help the body to eliminate liquid waste called urea and to keep chemicals such as potassium and sodium and water in balance. Urea is produced when foods containing proteins such as meat, poultry, and certain vegetables are broken down in the body. Urea is carried in the bloodstream to the kidneys where it is removed along with water and other waste in the form of urine. Other important functions of the kidneys include blood pressure regulation and the production of erythropoietin, which controls red blood cell production in the bone marrow. Kidneys also regulate the acid-base balance and conserve fluids. Now let's see some parts and functions of the urinary system. So there are a pair of kidneys which are purplish brown organs located below the ribs towards the middle of the back. Their function is to remove waste products and drugs from the body, balance the body's fluids, release hormones to regulate blood pressure, and control the production of red blood cells. The kidneys remove urea from the blood through tiny filtering units called nephrons. Each nephron consists of a ball formed of small blood capillaries called a glomerulus and a small tube called a renal tubule. Urea, together with water and other waste substances, forms the urine as it passes through the nephrons and down the renal tubules of the kidney. The second one is a pair of ureters. These narrow tubes carry urine from the kidneys to the bladder. Muscles in the ureter walls continually tighten and relax, forming urine downward away from the kidneys. If urine backs up or is allowed to stand still, a kidney infection can develop. About every 10 to 15 seconds, small amounts of urine are emptied into the bladder from the ureters. Next one is the bladder. This triangle shaped hollow organ is located in the lower abdomen. It is held in place by ligaments that are attached to other organs and the pelvic bones. The bladder's walls relax and expand to store urine and contract and flatten to empty urine through the urethra. The typical healthy adult bladder can store up to 2 cups of urine for 2 to 5 hours. Upon examination, specific landmarks are used to describe the location of any irregularities in the bladder. These are trigone, a triangle-shaped region near the junction of the urethra and the bladder. Right and left lateral walls, walls on either side of the trigone. Posterior wall, a back wall. Dome, roof of the bladder. The two sphincter muscles. These circular muscles help keep urine from leaking by closing tightly like a rubber band around the opening of the bladder. Next one is the nerves in the bladder. The nerves alert a person when it is time to urinate or empty the bladder. Next is the urethra. This tube allows urine to pass outside the body. The brain signals the bladder muscles to tighten, which squeezes urine out of the bladder. At the same time, the brain signals the sphincter muscles to relax to let the urine exit the bladder through the urethra. When all the signals occur in the correct order, normal urination occurs. So, this is all about the urinary system. Now, let's see the facts about urine. Normal healthy urine is a pale straw or transparent yellow color. Darker yellow or honey colored urine means you need more water. A darker brownish color may indicate a liver problem or severe dehydration. A pinkish or red urine may mean blood in the urine. Urine has been used as an antiseptic for at least 2000 years. Before modern science, when a small wound could potentially end your life, urine emerged as a primitive antiseptic. Pliny the Elder recommended urine for treating scorpion stings, snake bites, rabbit dog bites, sores, burns, and many other conditions. He suggested a concoction of stale urine and ashes of roasted oyster shells for the cure of eruptions on the bodies of infants. During the Renaissance, an Italian doctor named Leonardo Fioravanti witnessed a Spanish soldier lose his nose in a brawl. Fioravanti quickly urinated on the detached nose before surgically reattaching it to the soldier's face. It looks very odd, but this is a history. And in 1675, the accomplished lady's delight in preserving physique, beautifying, and cookery suggested washing one's face in urine to make it fair. Urine does have an antibacterial property directly correlated to the concentration of urea, the main metabolite in urine. An increase in urea concentration boosts its antibacterial activity. Though other factors like urine osmolality, pH, and ammonium concentration do come into play, urea is the MVP. So, this is a history. Kindly don't try this. But if you have any other problems, you have to consult the doctor. The Romans cleaned their cloths with urine. Urea decomposes into carbon dioxide and ammonia. Ammonia is one of the central ingredients of modern household cleaners as well, which explains stale urine's use as a common cloth cleanser in Roman Empire. By the 1st century, vessels for collecting urine were placed at street corners, outside inns, and inside Roman baths, and the Emperor Vespasian even imposed a tax on its collection. Some Roman laundries obtained their supply of urine directly from public urinals through pipes. At the Fulanicio, that is the laundry men's, the urine was allowed to rot for 3 days before being put into vats with piles of dirty cloths. The laundress stomped on the contents to get the dirt out, then rinsed the cloths in water and dried them. This too looks odd, but it is a historical event. We have to accept it. Next, infertility drugs made from 2 hormones in urine were developed with the help from the Vatican. Piero Donini, a scientist at the Italian pharmaceutical company Serono, extracted two hormones, FSH and LH, from the urine of post-menopausal women in 1940s. In 1957, endocrinologist Bruno Lunenfeld contacted Serono to run a clinical trial to test whether the hormones could be used to cure infertility. Their biggest challenge, though, was obtaining the thousands of gallons of postmenopausal urine needed to extract sufficient quantities of the hormone. Luckily, the Vatican was a major shareholder of Serrano through his nephew Don Giulio Pesili, one of the company's directors. Pope Pius XI convinced Italy's large population of post-menopausal nuns to collect urine daily for a sacred cause. Nuns all over Italy donated their urine to Serrano, which developed the fertility drugs Pergonal and Menopur. Both are still described today, so it's a fact. Urine fueled centuries of wars. Gunpowder comprises 75% of potassium nitrate, that is saltpeter, and 10% sulfur and 15% charcoal. Until the mid 19th century, saltpeter was either imported from India or made locally from stale urine. The renowned geologist Joseph Lee Conte detailed the procedure in his manual instructions for the manufacture of saltpeter. First, human and animal urine was collected in pits called niter beds. Lime and wood ash were added to the mix. Potash, a compound in the wood ash, gave the potassium to form potassium nitrate. The slurry was stirred from time to time and allowed to rot for around 2 years, after which it was leached with water and crystallized to get saltpeter. Europe's numerous wars prompted a constant need for urine to make gunpowder. In 1625, Charles I of England commissioned saltpeter men to recover urine that had soaked into the floors of stables, and in 1627, his royal proclamation asked his subjects to collect urine in convenient vessels and receptacles. A saltpeter man named Nicholas Stephens became notorious for digging up church floors because he believed that the earth in churches is best, for the women piss in their seats, which causes excellent saltpeter. As late as 1865, at the end of the American Civil War, women in the Confederate States were called upon to preserve all their chamberlain as a last-ditch attempt to replenish rebel ammunition. So these are some strange things. In ancient Egypt, urine could reveal pregnancy and the sex of the potential child. The first known DIY pregnancy test is described in the Berlin Papyrus from 1350 BC. Wheat and spelt, let the woman water them daily with her urine like dates and like seeds in 2 bags. If they both grow, she will bear. If the wheat grows, it will be a boy. If the spelt grows, it will be a girl. If neither grows, she will not bear. It advises according to one translation. Modern scientists put this to the test in 1963 and found that it correctly identified 70% of the pregnancies in the study. When the grains were watered with the urine of non-pregnant women or men, no germination occurred. Perhaps surprisingly, it took until 1971 for the first at-home pregnancy test to reach the market. An alchemist accidentally discovered phosphorus in stale urine. In 1669, a Hamburg physician named Henning Brandt mixed up a batch of sand, charcoal, and distilled putrefied urine, hoping to concoct the philosopher's stone, supposedly a compound that could turn metal into gold. Instead, he got a soapy substance that glowed in the dark, which he called cold fire. Later, it was renamed as phosphorus, a Latin for light bringer. Brand kept his discovery a secret. About a decade later, the famous English chemist Robert Boyle devised an efficient method to extract purer, more solid phosphorus from urine. Brand's method had yielded only 120 grams from a whooping 5,500 liters of urine. Boyle's assistant Ambrose Godfrey took their study a step further and began extracting it from the feces of animals. Godfrey could not be described as squeamish. He made phosphorus from excrement of horses, cows, sheep, cats, dogs, lions, tigers, bears, mice, rats, chickens, and fish. Another 17th century chemist, in extracting phosphorus from urine, discovered that if the privy parts be therewith rubbed, they will be inflamed and burning from a good while after. One wonders what made him try that. So it's a science amazing thing how the phosphorus is being found. Urine is the chief ingredient in a seasonal Chinese delicacy. Residents of Dongyang, China, swear by a seasonal cuisine dubbed Virgin Boy eggs. In spring, dozens of egg vendors across the city collect the urine of boys younger than 10 to be used as a broth for marinating and cooking eggs. Vendors boil eggs in the liquid, crack the shells, and then return the eggs to the urine to simmer for whole day. Vendors keep adding fresh urine to prevent overheating and may add some herbs and spices. The finished products have green yolks and pale golden whites. The benefits, according to the locals, include improved blood circulation, protection against heat strokes, and reinvigoration. Next is the world's first dose of penicillin was extracted from urine. On March 12, 1942, Annie Miller, a 33-year-old patient with septicemia at Yale New Haven Hospital, became the first person to be treated with penicillin. The newly discovered antibiotic was not yet approved in US, and producing it was a very slow process. In Miller's case, her urine came to the rescue. Because 40 to 99% of penicillin is excreted unchanged in urine, Miller's doctors decided to skip the process of trying to synthesize it from scratch, and in turn collected all of Miller's waste and sent it to Merck & Co. for penicillin extraction. After Miller fully recovered, scientists continued to harvest patients' urine this way until the drug would be produced on an industrial scale. So it's a creative thinking. The astronauts recycle their urine into drinking water. Normal human urine is about 95% water and presents a very appealing target for recycling, especially where potable water is scarce, like the International Space Station. On this, the American crew derives its drinking water supply by recycling urine and condensate from air. Astronauts pass their urine through a water recovery system that consists of a urine processor assembly and water processor assembly, which produces about 3.6 gallons of water per day. The Russian crew doesn't recycle their urine, though they collect it in bags and send them over to the American side, where it's added to the supply for recycling. Even on Earth, recycling urine into potable water is gaining traction. Belgian scientists have developed a machine that uses a solar-powered boiler and a special membrane to produce potable water from urine. So, don't be ashamed of this urine. It is all having such historical facts, though we don't know about it in detail. It is having proof that it is being very used in medical field and in scientific field, and we have seen about what is going through our urinary system. Our blood is being cleansed and all the waste products are being sent in the form of urea. So that's it for today's video. I hope so you got some scientific facts related to how this urinary system work and about the urine facts. And if you have any science related queries, you can ask to me. You can get it rectified through this channel. We'll meet in the next Science Fact Treasury series. Until then, it's goodbye from Sam. Take care.